The Super Delicious Cereal presents The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman. And today, with the Man of Steel miles away, Batman and Robin are again ambushed. This time with all odds against them. We'll take you to the scene in a moment. A mysterious criminal organization using the symbol of a crescent moon and star is believed by Superman to have knowledge of two missing pieces of Kryptonite, the strange, deadly element which gave the late Atom Man his terrible atomic power and which robs the Man of Steel of his great strength. With the aid of Batman and Robin, Superman followed the clue of Squealy Evers, a stool pigeon, to the Golden Lily, a nightclub frequented by underworld characters. As Superman remained on the stool pigeon's trail, Batman and Robin entered the nightclub, where they saw a girl singer introduced as Gloria Garrett, wearing a jeweled crescent and star in her hair. When the girl left, Batman and Robin leaped through the rear bumper of her car and were carried into the country. Suddenly, the car swung into a tree-bordered lane and stopped. And as our friends dropped to the ground, hidden lamps in the trees blazed into light, and a circle of 10 men in evening clothes, all armed with blue steel automatics, were revealed. Dismayed, Robin gasped,
Looks like we stepped into something, Batman.
"You're not kidding. And it doesn't look healthy."
You have indeed stepped into something, Batman and Robin.
Who's the party behind the handlebar mustache?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Permit me to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Smith.
My, what an odd name.
Of the Sing Sing Smiths, I presume.
How clever. Strange that such clever fellows should let themselves be trapped.
Isn't it? Just for the record, how did you do it?
Can't you figure it out?
I suppose the girl, Gloria Garrett, was a plant, is that it?
Excellent, Batman. Worthy of Sherlock Holmes himself. When we heard you and Robin managed to escape our little ambush on the dock and return to the coffee shop.
How'd you know we went back there?
Easy. Squealy figured we would, so he hung around and spotted us. Then hustled to the Golden Lily to report. That's why we saw him coming out of there, right?
Right again. We were quite certain you would turn up at the Golden Lily eventually, so we arranged our little trap for you. Gloria Garrett wearing the crescent and star ornament was the bait.
And we fell for it.
Hook, line, and sinker. Okay, Mr. Smith, you've got us. Now, what do you intend to do with us?
Mr. Jones will tell you that.
Oh, another fancy moniker.
Now, who's Mr. Jones?
You're about to find out. Felix, Abbott, tie them up.
Helpless in a circle of menacing automatics, Batman and Robin submit to having their hands tied firmly behind their backs. Then, shepherded by their captors, they are taken to a huge old house at the end of the tree-bordered lane. A brass plate beside the door gleams dully in the moonlight and reads, Dr. Joseph Winters, Sanitarium. In a large oak-paneled room, almost stiflingly hot, a great fire burns in a wide fireplace, beside which, at a flat-topped desk, a slender, scholarly-looking man with a shawl over his shoulders and wearing pince-nez glasses sits writing. As Batman and Robin are ushered into the room, he lays aside his pen and picks up a glass atomizer, heavily encrusted with silver, which stands at his elbow. Opening his mouth, he sprays his throat, then calls irritably,
Close the door, please, Mr. Smith. There's a draft.
A little fresh air won't hurt you, Mr. Jones. It's like an oven in here.
Nonsense. Fresh air is full of germs. Germs and disease. I'd better spray my throat again.
What do you make of this wacky setup, Batman?
I think we're in the inner sanctum of the Crescent and Star Gang.
Wow.
There. That's better. Now we can get down to business. I presume these young men in the masquerade costumes are Batman and Robin.
That is correct, Mr. Jones.
I suppose I should be flattered that such famous personalities are interested in us. But I'm not. Tell me, gentlemen, how did you find out about us?
I don't remember at the moment. Do you, Robin?
I'm afraid it slipped my mind.
Here. Let me show you this silver coin. It is engraved with a crescent moon and a star. And was in your possession, Batman. Where did you get it?
Where? Oh, I found it.
Where did you find it?
In the street.
Sure, we tripped over it.
Understand me, gentlemen. I intend to get at the truth. By one means or another. Now, about this coin. There are only a certain number of them in existence, in the possession of specific persons. If one of them has seen fit to entrust you with this symbol without our knowledge, We should like to know about it.
We didn't get it from any of your people.
From whom did you get it?
I told you, we found it.
I don't believe you.
If you let me take them below for an hour or so, Mr. Jones.
The last person you took below died, Mr. Smith, and his information died with him. I should like to prevent that in this case, if possible.
Thank you, Robin.
Should I make a curtsy, too?
Apparently neither of you think I'm serious. Believe me, gentlemen, I am. I want to know where you got this coin and any other information you have about us.
Suppose we tell you, then what?
You will save your lives.
What assurance do we have of that?
My word.
Take the word of a murderer and crook? Are you kidding?
Easy, Robin.
I will give you one more chance. Will you tell me what I want to know?
Sure. We found the coin in a grab bag.
You'll find the most interesting things in grab bags.
Very well. We'll see how long your sense of humor and your stubbornness last in room 0.
Where?
Room 0. Once you're there, you'll understand the meaning of the name. Take them away, Mr. Smith.
With pleasure. Come, my friends. I am very proud of Room 0. It is my own invention. I assure you there's nothing like it in the entire world. Nothing.
As Batman and Robin are led to the mysterious Room 0, Superman is streaking away from a small town 75 miles south of Metropolis, to which he trailed Squealy Evers, the underworld stool pigeon. Having seen Squealy retire for the night in a tourist cottage, and having enlisted the local police to watch him, the Man of Steel returns to the Golden Lily nightclub where he left Batman and Robin. Although it is 4 o'clock in the morning, the Golden Lily is still crowded and merry. Unable to find his friends, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent, finally locates the waiter who served them.
Now think. You recall the people I described to you?
Sure, I remember the man and boy. They ordered turkey sandwiches and milk, but when I bought them, they gave me $5 and left without eating.
They did?
Yes, the man said he remembered they had another appointment.
When was this?
Oh, a few hours ago, around midnight, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Were they alone?
Yes, just the two of them.
Tell me, did you notice them talking to anybody?
No, they were here only 10 or 15 minutes.
Did they leave a message for me? My name is Kent, by the way.
No, they did not, Mr. Kent. That is all the man said about another appointment.
Didn't leave a message with a cashier or doorman either. Well, I'll probably find one at home or at the office. Thanks, waiter. Here's something for your trouble.
Thank you very much, sir. Good night.
You're welcome. Good night. Well, another appointment, eh? Where, I wonder? And with whom?
Only slightly uneasy, Clark Kent leaves the Golden Lily, unaware that Batman and Robin are in deadly peril. We'll return in a moment for the tense climax of today's episode. As Clark Kent, not yet fully alarmed, left the Golden Lily nightclub, Batman and Robin, their arms still tied behind them, were pushed into the mysterious Room 0 in the House of the Crescent and Star, and a heavy oaken door was locked and bolted behind them. The room in the basement of the house is small and windowless. The walls are of smooth concrete, and the only illumination is from a tiny electric bulb set in a recess in the ceiling. It is that ceiling which now engages Batman and Robin's alarmed attention, for every few moments there is a sound as of heavy bolts slipping in a cogwheel, and the ceiling lowers slightly.
Here it goes again, Batman. Look, the ceiling lowered some more.
Only about an inch that time, Robin.
And an inch before that, and another inch before that. It must have dropped 6 inches since we got in here.
Just about. We've been here half an hour. Let's see. That's at the rate of a foot an hour. The ceiling's about 8 foot high. So at the rate it's dropping, it'll take 8 hours.
Never mind the mathematics. I can add. I can figure out why they call this Room 0, too. It means ceiling 0.
I guess so. Nice sense of humor our newfound friends have.
You're not kidding. Look, I don't relish the idea of being flattened out like a pancake. What are we going to do?
I'm open to suggestions.
Suppose we tell the head man with the atomizer that the coin we had belonged to his pal Sidney.
No soap. We can't let them trace things back. Too many people are involved.
Yes,
There are no buts, Robin. Kent and Inspector Henderson know about this gang. We've got to keep our mouths shut and hope that they get to them in time.
Besides what?
Even if we did tell them, you don't suppose knowing what we know about them, they'd turn us loose, do you?
Oh, I never thought of that. Of course they wouldn't.
What I should have done was left a message for Kent at the Golden Lily. Mark me down for a big goon.
What good would it have done? We didn't know where we were going, and besides, the ceiling's dropping again. What'll we do, Batman?
I don't know yet. Better dream up something soon, or we'll be a couple of pressed ducks. Attempting to hide their deep concern behind a mask of gaiety, Batman and Robin watch the ceiling descend toward them slowly. A fraction of an inch at a time, but steadily it drops lower and lower, with seemingly no chance of escape. And meanwhile, Clark Kent, who is Superman, has no clue to their whereabouts. Will they find a way out, or are Batman and Robin doomed? Fellows and girls, don't miss Monday's exciting episode as Batman and Robin sweat it out in Room Zero. Tune in, same time, same station, for the adventures of Superman. While aiding Superman in his search for 2 stolen pieces of kryptonite, the strange, deadly element which gave the late Atom Man his terrible atomic power, Batman and Robin were captured by a mysterious criminal organization using the symbol of a crescent moon and star, believed by our friends to have knowledge of the kryptonite. In the gang headquarters, a bogus sanitarium near Metropolis, Batman and Robin were placed in a basement dungeon known as Room Zero, where, to their dismay, they watched the steel ceiling, slowly move down on them, a fraction of an inch at a time. It is now 8:30 in the morning, and we find them both seated on the cold concrete floor, the lowered ceiling now only inches above Batman's head. Although they have succeeded in loosening the ropes which bound their hands and arms, the situation still seems hopeless. Listen.
Ceiling dropped again. What'll we do, Batman?
I hate to say it, Robin, but I'm afraid this time we're in a spot we can't get out of.
Oh, don't talk like that. If only someone knew we were here. Inspector Henderson or...
Oh, while you're dreaming, sonny boy, make it good. Why not Superman?
Sure, why not? What's that?
The slot in the bottom of the door. Our friend Mr. Smith probably wants to tell us another bedtime story.
If I could only get my hands on him, I'd tell him one that I'd put him to sleep for a long time.
Are you gentlemen enjoying the view in there?
Sure. Gets better every minute.
Why don't you come in and enjoy it with us, Bud? We're sociable guys.
Thank you. But I prefer to watch from out here. Let me see. It is just 8:33. The ceiling lowers at a rate of 1 foot per hour. At 9:33, you will have to crouch on your hands and knees. At 10:33, you will be lying flat. At approximately 11 o'clock...
All aboard!
Train leaving for Buffalo on track 6. Woo-woo!
I wonder if you'll find things so amusing at 11 o'clock when the ceiling finally reaches the floor. Dropped another quarter of an inch. Well, my friend...
We're very well, thank you. How are you, Mr. Rat?
Now, don't be nasty to the gentleman, Robin.
You are stupid fools. By now it should be clear to you that we of the Crescent and Star mean business. In a matter of hours, you will both die horrible deaths unless you tell us what we want to know.
You mean where we got the silver coin with the crescent and star on it?
Yes. And how much do you know about us? Tell me and I will release you. I give you my word.
I wouldn't take your word if you swore on a stack of Bibles. Release us first, and then maybe we'll tell you.
Maybe.
Do you hear that? The ceiling dropped again. This is your last chance to save your lives. I will not give you another. Well, what do you say?
Go peddle your papers on some other corner, Bud.
All right, then. Die. Die like the stupid idiot you are.
Wait, Mr. Smith, come back.
What the...
So you changed your mind, huh? Well, go ahead, talk.
No, Robin.
Yes, I'll talk. What do you want to know?
Robin.
Where did you find that silver coin?
In your father's mustache. Well, that's that.
Yeah, you had me worried for a minute.
Yeah, I've been worried for the last 5 hours. Maybe he's right, Batman. Maybe we are making jokes to cover up. Are you frightened?
Well, I'm not too happy. Let's take another look around the walls.
Oh, what's the use? We've been over them 100 times. They're concrete, and there isn't a crack in them big enough for an ant to crawl through.
I know, but... Oh, there goes the ceiling again.
It'll be ceiling zero soon. Too soon.
Lower and lower, inch by inch, the heavy steel ceiling descends to the floor, and Batman and Robin give up all hope. Meanwhile, alarmed because he has been unable to find any trace of his friends, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent, is in the office of Police Inspector Henderson, who is just completing a telephone conversation.
You sure he's not holding out on you, Healy? Okay, then. Bring him back to Metropolis. Right. So long. That stool pigeon you trailed last night, Kent, Squealy Evers? Yeah, I sent Healy up to Rockville.
Uh-huh.
He and the local police put Squealy on the pan.
They did, eh?
All stoolies are yellow, and Squealy's no exception. He talked.
Yes?
It won't help us much. He doesn't know where Batman and Robin are. And he doesn't know anything about the mob who use the crescent moon and star for their symbol.
Uh-oh.
All he knows is that there is such a mob. And if he hears anybody asking about them, he's supposed to tip off Patsy at the Golden Lily nightclub.
Well, what was he doing at the Golden Lily last night? And why did he skip town?
He says when Batman and Robin fought their way out of the dark ambush he walked them into, he figured they'd add up the right numbers and know he'd put in the tip for the ambush at the coffee shop.
Uh-huh.
So he hustled back there and hid across the street in the doorway. And sure enough, about an hour later, Batman and Robin showed up with you. So he rushed over to the Golden Lily and told Patsy the coffee shop waiter might leak and to expect company.
Then?
Then Patsy gave Squealy the keys to his car and told him to beat it out of town and lay low for a while.
Well, then I trailed Squealy half the night for nothing.
Maybe not.
What do you mean, Inspector?
Squealy's information gives me a little more ammunition to use on Pat Simo.
On whom?
Charlie Pat Simo is Patsy, the owner of the Golden Lily.
Oh.
And I'll bet my shield he's mixed up in the disappearance of Batman and Robin. We know he's somehow tied up with the Crescent and Star Mob, and Batman and Robin were last seen at his place.
Oh, yes, but that...
Now, my hunch is they followed the girl, and she steered them into a trap. And Patsy...
Wait a minute. What girl?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. I've got it right over here. There you are. Take a look at this photograph, Kent.
Uh-huh.
You see, we do a little detective work, too. You're not the only Sherlock.
Wait, Scott, look, Inspector. This girl's wearing an ornament in her hair, and it's a crescent moon and star.
Well, why do you think I showed you the picture?
Oh, but who is she?
She was introduced as Gloria Garrett, star of the London music halls. I called Scotland Yard about an hour ago.
And?
They never heard of Gloria Garrett in London.
Uh-oh.
And so far, nobody's heard of her here either.
Well, now, wait a minute. We can trace her through Patsy, can't we? He and the Crescent and Star mob must have planted her at the Golden Lily and arranged for her to be introduced, knowing that if Batman and Robin were there, they'd follow her.
That's what I figure. And as soon as we get Patsy down here, I'm going to put the screws on him.
Good.
I've always been sure he's a crook, but he's a smart potato, and we've never been able to pin anything on him.
Well, do you think you can now? At least enough to make him talk?
I hope so. I've got an alarm out for him, and we should pick him up soon. Then we're going to crack this case wide... Excuse me.
Sure.
Hello? Oh, yes, Donovan. Did you get him? What? No. I see. Okay. Yeah, that's right. See you later.
What's the matter, Inspector?
They just picked up Patsy.
Oh, good.
Not so good. They found him floating in the harbor with a knife in his back.
Stunned, Clark Kent's jaw drops. The old owner of the Golden Lily was their only link in the chain of circumstances revolving about Batman and Robin's sudden disappearance. But that link is broken forever. Now what? We'll return in a moment to find out. But first, here again is your announcer.
Gang, talk about bright, sparkling color. Why, you can't beat those comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep. Those red and black and blue pictures of your favorite comic strip characters are real eye-catchers. And the pictures are so true to life that, well, you'd almost think they're going to talk to you. Take Harold Teen, for instance. His hair is combed just so, like in the funny papers, and he's grinning away as if he's just heard a big joke. And Smilin' Jack looks mighty natural, too, in his trim-looking uniform. And Superman in bright blue jersey with red Superman insignia and that red cape flying in the wind. Yes, sir, every single one of those 18 different comic buttons is really on the beam. And you get the extra fun of trading duplicates with your friends, too. So better get busy on your collection. Ask Mom to get you some of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep, because that's the only way you can get these comic buttons. You don't send in either money or box tops, and you can't buy them anywhere. But inside every package of Pep, there's an exclusive prize. One of these nifty comic buttons, or a military insignia, or a warplane button. It's your prize from P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
Shocked when they learned that Patsy, owner of the Golden Lily nightclub, had been found murdered, Clark Kent and Inspector Henderson hurried to the club on the waterfront, which in the bright light of day is deserted except for a porter who listlessly sweeps the floor between the empty tables. Searching the place thoroughly, Kent and Henderson finally ended up in Patsy's small private office on the little balcony above the dance floor, where the inspector has gone through the dead man's desk.
Not a thing here to show that Patsy even knew about the Crescent and Star Mob, Kent. Not a note, not an unexplained phone number, nothing. The boys couldn't find anything in his hotel either. How did he contact them?
I don't know, but I'm worried, Inspector. It's 10:15. Batman and Robin have been missing since midnight.
Well, I'll admit I'm worried myself. But what can we do? Patsy is dead. We can't find Gloria Garrett, and nobody else can tell us anything about the Crescent and Star.
I can't understand how they... Wait a minute. What's that?
What's what?
In here.
Oh, that's the storeroom. We went through it.
Yes, but I think we missed something. Come here a minute.
Well, what is it?
Look, a phonograph.
Well, what about it?
Listen to this.
Oh, we haven't time to play records, Kent.
Listen. There. You hear that?
So what?
You remember the song?
Of course, All Alone. Irving Berlin wrote it, but what's
This
that got...
phonograph record is the answer to our prayers.
What? Are you nuts?
No, I'm not. In a minute or two, the telephone on that desk is going to ring. And you are going to answer it.
Yeah? And who'll it be?
A member of the Crescent and Star mob. Now, listen.
For a long moment, Inspector Henderson stares at Kent as though he were certain the Daily Planet reporter is out of his mind. In the background, the phonograph needle scratches on the recording of the once popular song, All Alone. How does Kent know the phone will ring? And why is he so certain it will be a member of the Crescent and Star mob calling? In the meantime, Batman and Robin, with only a scant 45 minutes to go before the ceiling of their incredible torture chamber drops to the floor, are in mortal danger. From now on, the action is tense, exciting, and mysterious. So don't miss a single word of it. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, as the famous Batman and Robin join in The Adventures of Superman. Captured by leaders of the mysterious Crescent and Star mob, whom they believe have knowledge of 2 stolen pieces of kryptonite, the amazing element which robs Superman of all his strength and power, Batman and Robin were placed in a basement room in a bogus sanitarium where the steel ceiling was so built that it slowly descended toward them hour by hour. When they had less than an hour left before the moving ceiling met the floor, Superman, hunting desperately for them, arrived at the Golden Lily nightclub where they had last been seen. Suspecting that Patsy, the recently murdered owner of the club, had been a go-between for the Crescent and Star mob, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent and Police Inspector Henderson, searched the premises thoroughly and were about to give up when Kent discovered a phonograph hidden in the storeroom. As we continue now, Kent, over Henderson's objections, has turned the switch on and is about to play a record found on the phonograph. Listen.
Oh, we haven't time to play records, Kent.
Listen, Inspector. There. You hear that?
So what?
Remember the song?
Of course. All Alone. Irving Berlin wrote it. So what?
I know it sounds silly, but that phonograph record is the answer to our prayers.
What? Are you kidding?
Oh. In a minute or two, the telephone out there in Patsy's office is going to ring. And you are going to answer it.
Oh, yeah? Who'll it be?
Someone from the Crescent and Star mob.
From the... What? What did you say?
I said that in a minute or two, we'll get a phone call from someone in the Crescent and Star mob.
Oh, we will, eh? I suppose you're sending out thought waves telling him to call.
Oh, no, not thought waves, Inspector. Radio waves. Come here, look. Look what's in this cabinet.
Hey, that looks like a shortwave radio transmitter.
That's exactly what it is. It's hooked up to the phonograph, see? And it's beaming the record to the Crescent and Star mob.
Who said it is? How do you know?
I'm sure of it. Look, if Patsy was a go-between for the mob, he had to have some way of contacting them. And this is the way he did it. Do you remember the lyric of the song? It goes, All Alone by the telephone. Well, the mob hears the song in their hideout, and one of them calls Patsy.
Hey, you may have something there, Kent.
I'm sure I have. But why doesn't that call come through?
How do you know the transmitter is working?
The tubes are lit. Hey, wait a minute, the record's running out. I'll set it back.
Hey, you're wasting your time, Kent. Something just occurred to me.
What's that?
You said the mob went through all this rigmarole to keep Patsy from learning their identity.
That's right.
And yet one of them was here last night in full view of Patsy and everyone else.
I don't follow you.
That girl singer, Gloria Garrett.
Oh, no, I don't think she was a member of the gang.
Oh, no?
No.
Well, she was wearing that Crescent and Star symbol in her hair, wasn't she?
So what? She was given the symbol and sent here to lead Batman and Robin into a trap.
That doesn't hold water, Kent. If the mob was so careful about their precious identities, they wouldn't take such a chance. They'd know all Patsy or anyone else had to do was to follow the girl, and she'd lead them to the gang.
Well, they probably protected themselves against that.
No, I don't think...
Now, look, Inspector, please stop arguing. I'm sure this is the answer to how Patsy contacted the Crescent and Star mob.
Well, if it is, then why haven't they called?
I don't know. I can't understand it.
Well, I can. And so could you if you weren't such a stubborn fool. Now, come on, let's get back to headquarters. There's no more to be done here.
No, wait, Inspector.
Wait for what?
For the call. We're bound to get it.
Now, listen to me, Kent. I know you're worried about Batman and Robin. So am I. But this isn't the place to find them.
No, but
now,
it's-
come on, it's 10:35.
Please, Inspector, wait 5 more minutes. This is the answer. I know it. They have to call.
Well, okay. 5 more minutes, but no more.
Skeptically, Inspector Henderson puffs at his cigar while Clark Kent watches the telephone in the adjoining office, every nerve strained, waiting to pounce on the instrument the moment it rings. Meanwhile, in the long, oak-paneled room at the bogus sanitarium, headquarters of the Crescent and Star organization, its leader, a man who calls himself Mr. Jones, sits at his desk beside a hot, glowing fireplace, a shawl thrown over his thin shoulders. His eyes behind rimless pince-nez glasses are as pale and cold as chipped ice. As the door at the end of the room opens, the man known as Mr. Smith, his powerfully built mustached henchman, enters. Mr. Jones reaches for the silver-encrusted atomizer at his elbow and hastily sprays his throat.
You sent for me, Mr. Jones?
Yes. Close the door. You're letting a draft.
If you would listen to me and inhale fresh air instead of this hot
Fresh air
air.
is full of germs. I've told you 1,000 times. But never mind that now. Something I don't understand is happening, Mr. Smith, and I don't like it.
Yes, what is it?
I'll show you. Listen to this.
Oh, why turn on the receiver from the Golden Lily? You know Patsy is dead.
Is he?
Of course he is. Felix and Herbert took care of him early this morning as you directed. You said too many knew of his connection with us now, so...
Listen.
What? The signal from the Golden Lily? Well, how can that be?
That's what I want to know. If Patsy is dead,
Of course he is dead. Felix and Herbert say so. They've never failed us.
then who is trying to contact us from the Golden Lily?
I don't know. Perhaps someone, a porter or a waiter, discovered the transmitting phonograph and turned it on.
Or perhaps the police.
The police?
Yes.
Well,
Wait till I turn this off. I've been thinking, Mr. Smith. The police may have found Sidney's silver coin bearing our symbol after his death. They knew Sidney was associated with the Atom Man, so they followed the clue of our symbol to the Golden Lily nightclub.
but how could they without our hearing about it? We know from our informers that only Batman and Robin have been asking for information about the symbol.
Batman and Robin, of course. They often work with the police. It must have been Sidney's coin we found on Batman.
Yes, that could be.
I'm sure of it. Mr. Smith, the police are getting too close for comfort. We've got to get out. What time is it now?
It is exactly 10:37.
When will the little job be finished in room 0?
At exactly 11 o'clock, the ceiling will reach Batman and Robin, where they lie stretched out on the floor. 2 minutes.
Never
after
mind the
that,
details. Be in this room at exactly 5 minutes after 11. You and all the others. We'll take our records and money and leave. You understand?
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Wait. Something occurred to me a moment ago. A short time before Sidney's death, he called us for some information, I understand. I was away at the time, so I suppose you talked with him.
Yes, he wanted to know where the Scarlet Widow would be contacted.
The Scarlet Widow. Now, why... But, of course, the widow...
Well, what about her?
And nothing, Mr. Smith. Just an amusing anecdote I remembered. I suppose we have the widow's present whereabouts in our files.
Yes, we keep a running file on everyone who might be of use to us, as you well know.
Naturally, of course. Go now. Hurry. And be back here as soon as Batman and Robin are finished.
Very well. You'll all be here at 11:05.
Good. I'd better turn this on again. I don't like this. I don't like it at all.
Pulling his shawl closer about his stooped shoulders, the scholarly-looking Mr. Jones rises to his feet, a small ironic smile twisting his thin lips as he listens to the strains of All Alone emerge from the shortwave radio receiver. Scarcely 20 minutes of life remain now for Batman and Robin, and miles away in the Golden Lily nightclub, Clark Kent still waits anxiously for the phone call from the Crescent and Star gang. What will happen? We'll return in a moment for the startling climax of today's episode. It is exactly 10:42, 18 short minutes before the steel ceiling in room 0 will complete its descent and close down on Batman and Robin. And miles away in a storeroom at the Golden Lily nightclub, Clark Kent still plays the phonograph attached to the shortwave radio transmitter. Police Inspector Henderson is running out of patience.
Now, look here, Kent. We said we'd wait 5 minutes, and we waited 7.
I know.
You were wrong, admit it. This transmitter is not beamed to the Crescent and Stellar hideout.
Well, I'm sure it is, Inspector.
Confound it, man. Use your head.
I am.
If it is, why haven't they called in by this time to see what Patsy wants?
I don't know. There must be some Wait a minute, of course.
Of course, what?
They haven't called in because they know Patsy is dead and they suspect a trap.
How do they know he's dead?
Because they killed him. They rubbed him out.
Hey, I hate to admit it, Kent, but I think you're right.
Sure, we've got to work fast, Inspector. The mob must know someone is onto them now because that record is playing. They'll probably finish Batman and Robin and clear out if they haven't done so already.
Yeah, then what'll we do?
I've got an idea. It's a pretty long chance, but it might work.
What's that?
I haven't time to explain now, but look. I want you to stay here, Inspector, and keep playing this record over and over until you hear from me.
Huh? Oh, I don't get it.
Never mind. Just please do as I say, Inspector. It's our only chance. Will you?
Well,
I knew you would. Now just keep playing that record over and over. And keep your fingers crossed.
Scowling and puzzled, Inspector Henderson stares after Clark Kent, who rushes from the room. What is Kent's plan? It is now 10:45. Only 15 scant minutes remain before the heavy steel ceiling closes down upon Batman and Robin. What will happen? Tomorrow's episode is a thriller-diller, fellows and girls, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station, to follow Superman, Batman, and Robin in The Adventures of Superman.